Call Haloyam Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, Barakatham, Shalom. This is your fellow servant Tazawar from the GMS Orlando camp, here with another lesson. First, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone whom rule well, and from whom we learn his truth. Shalom to Akim who are not in GMS, but are pushing likewise doctrine in spirit and in truth, with all sincerity. To you few sisters that are listening and learning, as well as you speckled birds who are scattered among the nations, looking like those nations, to the 144,000 elect men and the rest of the hopeful elect, to you I say, Shalom. Hey, this is I won't call it a response because it's a little late, but I was watching a video on one of the beloved brothers' channels, GMS Rawaban, right? Go check out his channel. Subscribe and be edified. All right. That brother got a beautiful spirit. All right. And he's also a Reubenite, like myself. But the brother has a beautiful spirit and very wise. How they say in the world, wise beyond your years. Well, this brother is one like that in righteousness. All right. And through the spirit of wisdom. All right. Which all of us strive to obtain. All right. Via tapping into the spirit. Okay. But anyhow, he did a short video on the laws that your boy Trump, right, Donnie J, President Duck, where he removed the Segregation Act of 1964, right? And of course, he put some clips in the video that he did. I won't do it here, so I will encourage you to go subscribe to that brother's channel. Again, it's GMS Rawaban, RAAHWABAN, GMS Rawaban. All right. But he posted the short clip and did commentary on it. And he made the point that a lot of Jake was up in arms, not really fully understanding what was going on when those, when that act of 1964, the Segregation Act, was repealed. Okay. So just my insight on it through the spirit is, when you look at President Duck, all right, or Donnie J, the Donald, all right, 47, whatever you want to call him. When you look at Orange Man, he's been pretty open about his his character, let's say that way, right? There was a whole big commotion about, his first presidency, grab him right by the, you know, the hoo-ha, if you will, right? But y'all know, and there was a whole thing about this guy being quote unquote sexist and all of this. Well, let's backtrack a little bit. So he is a old, rich, so-called white man. Okay? And his whole slogan has been MAGA, right? Make America great again. Now, when America was great, when he was coming up, women were at home and in the kitchen. Okay? So that's first. Understanding the time period that this guy was raised in and his character. Okay? And the fact that he comes from a prominent family. Also, what he's done with making official, putting it on the books that there are only two genders, passing the law, right? Which was a good thing. Then he attacked or set his sights on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Okay, which, of course, affected all minority groups, as they so call, right? As they like to phrase it. But again, you had Jake and some other. Jake, by and large, was getting all butthurt and bent out of shape about that shit. Well, that largely affected so-called white women more than anybody else. Which, in my opinion, all right, was his motive. That was his intent. Because and this is me speaking as a man, I believe that through the spirit, this guy, Donnie J, right, being tapped in and being part of a prominent family, okay, he's familiar with history and how societies decline once the women get way out of hand. So these things, in my opinion, are his way of trying to set things back in order to kind of kill that whole woke, if you will, wokeism, liberal, far left, ideology that has gotten America mocked and made fun of throughout the earth. All right. So with that being said, I believe that's one of his angles. Now, could it be that this paired with the deporting of our northern, a large sum of our northern kingdom, brethren, all right, could these things together be their way of trying to pigeonhole so-called Negroes back into the lower wage jobs? Potentially, right? I have no doubt that if they saw that as a byproduct, that they all for it, right? But what is coming though is, let's grab some scripture real quick. Let's see. Is you women being put back in order. I think that's his main goal. So let's start at let's get this verse. And Salaki, I done ramble for 10 minutes. This is Isaiah 32, right? And you see it financially. I'm going to read this, and we're going to get some more commentary. This is Isaiah 32 and 2. And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest. All right. As rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. All right. And the eyes of them that see shall not be dim, and the ears of them that hear shall hearken. Right. Because you have the watchmen watching the times, heralding in the prophecies, all right, and letting people know what time it is. Okay. The heart also of the rash shall understand knowledge, and the tongue of the stammerers shall be ready to speak plainly. Right. So we speak plainly to you concerning the prophecies. Now here this go. The vile person shall no more be called liberal. Now who is the vile person? Huh? Who's the vile of the earth? Who's the wicked? Well, as pertaining to Job 9 and 24, the earth would be given charge over the earth, right? As roughly paraphrased, Job says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. We bring that out all the time. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked, right? He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the wicked, which are these vile people, the vile person. Let's get that word vile real quick. H 5036. Nabal, right? Or Nawabal. It says foolish, senseless, fool. Now let's get the root word. To be senseless, be foolish. All right, to regard or treat as foolish. And right now, America as a whole is being regarded as foolish. There was a clip I wanted to do. Maybe I'll do a video on that next. It was Moab, like making fun of this this clip of this, I guess, one of them content girls, right? You had this Moab cat like marking, because that's what's pushed on social media over here in America. Foolish content, right? Anyway, also when you look at the moves that Trump has been making so far, he's isolating Babylon the Great, right? Isolating Babylon the Great, man. One of the brothers just dropped in the chat earlier today that Canada has officially severed military alliance ties with America, man. All right. And this guy putting the tariffs on all of the countries round about us, right? Fucking up the how you call it? The relations, national relations between the countries of Mexico and Canada. All right. Anyway, to treat with contempt, to sink or drop down, languish, wither and fall, fade, right? But to be foolish is how it's applied here. All right. And then churl, we get this all the time too. Churl, a scoundrel, right? A knave. Yeah, scoundrel. So when we go back and we continue reading, Verse 6, for the vile person will speak. Oh, Salaki, verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. You see that? So a lowly, vile person, right? A foolish individual, foolish nation, right? Foolish shall no longer be called liberal, nor the scoundrels being called bountiful, basically, is what it's saying, right? Reading on, for the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, right? To practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. All right. Now I believe we covered during this guy's inauguration, this guy didn't put his hand on the Bible, man. He didn't put his hand on the Bible and swear in. All right. And this guy got Elon sitting in his cabinet, which we talk about that too. So Elon has actually become a mouthpiece for this guy. All right. And his administration. Okay. And Elon be on that same bullshit that those like the Noah Yuval Haraldis and the super elitists be talking about, merging man and machine and becoming like another entity, right? Which we know they're seeking godhood. Okay. Anyway, to get back on topic, the point of this is verse 5, they'll no longer be called liberal or bountiful. Okay? And the laws that he's pushing, repealing, is wickedness, man. It's villainy. When you read verse 6 in the NLT, it says, for fools speak foolishness and make evil plans. Right? And make evil plans. They practice ungodliness and spread false teachings about the Lord. And the fact that he had in that the repealing of the Act of 1964, the Segregation Act of 1964, that he put in that the bill that he signed was to reestablish those prejudice monuments, right? Like your Theodore Roosevelt, your Teddy Roosevelt, all the ones that they tried to tear down. All right, to try to like hide the history of America, right? Well, now this guy Trump is like, hey, reestablish those statues, put them back up, re-erect them. What we're going to do is we're going to attack the education system, right? With the, and that's covered under the DEI thing, man. Which goes into, for lack of a better term, the CRT, the critical race theory mindset, right? Not teaching those things or making it, I won't say illegal, but pulling the wicked histories of the forefathers of this country out of the history books. Okay? That's an evil plan. That's wickedness. But reestablishing those statues is actually going to do us a favor. All right. Let me jump down to the point I want is, well, I'll read because it's right here in 9. All right. Verse 7. The instruments of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. like I said, if you best believe it's collateral damage gonna occur through what this fucker's doing, and he's all for that too. Because make no mistake, Donnie J, this guy's like an old cracker, man. All right, he's an old cracker, and the fact that you had this guy Elon running around doing that, the Nazi shit salute, it gives you a peek into their mind, man. All right, so they know what's going on, and they're doing all of this, in public view, giving you a idea of their mind state. But they just can't say, we finna have you women get your ass back in the kitchen, and all you niggas take those low paying jobs again. No, it's got to be gradual. They're gonna put the squeeze on it, right? And because you got to remember, these devils move. They play the long game. They play chess, not checkers, so to speak. Right? Wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. But the liberal devises liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. Right? That's speaking of Yahweh Shai. Rise up, ye women. Now, this is the point that I was making in the opening of the lesson. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. So all the little trinkets and the little breadcrumbs and the handouts all you women were getting, they finna take that shit back under this administration, man. They finna take that shit back. Because Trump, like I say, he an old school type. That man got an old spirit. All right? He like a woman should be in a woman's place. And there's only two genders. Right? Hey, and through the spirit, in those talking points, we agree. Now, we don't agree on how he's handling the whole situation, so to speak. But hey, let him do what he do, because ultimately, it's going to usher in prophecy, more prophecy to unfold, man. And that's what we want. That's what we waiting on. More prophecies to unfold. All right, because again, they already set everything up. Over the last 5, they had that 2030 agenda. Now they moved it to 2035. I seen something online talking about they got a 2035 agenda. So they just added 5 years. Okay. But they are setting up to make it extremely difficult for people to have and in that 2035 agenda, they was talking about CBDC, central bank digital currency, and blockchain being like a norm. Okay, which goes into the tracking. All right, which is one step closer to the charagma. Now, before all of that, they have to make it what? They got to make it harder for people to live on a day-to-day basis. Because right now people are struggling. But what happens is they can downsize, right? They can move in with family. You see a trend of, especially you out of order women, so like if they single, they'll move in with another single woman that's their friend, right? And they'll have 2 incomes in the household that way. Or a man may get more than one woman. We see that becoming more talked about on the social media platforms, right? But it's not done in righteousness. All right, they got the whole reason and rationale behind that shit backwards. But this guy is going to make it difficult. So what's going to happen is people going to move in, try to, pick up more than one woman or whatever, but then these women are going to lose their jobs, a lot of them, and become a dependent. All right. And this is me speaking as a man. But I could see it being like that. I could see a lot more women losing their jobs and becoming dependents and being forced to either, move back home with their parents or downsize, lose their house, be homeless. Because we've seen this happen in large scale already, right? Or the other thing that could happen is, again, they find a man to bring provision, which means they'll become just another dependent. Well, what happens in that case? Then, right, is pigeonholing of certain classes into those lower paying jobs, making it difficult. It's a process that has to take place so they can try to force the charagma on people. It has to get to the point where, people not just complaining about food, but they actually missing meals. Like that's got to become a norm. All right, that's got to become a norm. Verse 10: Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones. So all them hot summers and shit, that shit finna be over with. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins, which is coming soon. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine, right? Which America had at one time. All right. Everybody was on the teat of America, getting that milk, right? It was winding that tit, right? Because the scriptures say that Babylon had making the nations drunk with her wine, man. All right. Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city, right? Because the palaces shall be forsaken, the multitude of the cities shall be left, the forts and towers shall be for dens forever. A joy of wild asses, pasture of flocks, right? So basically it's talking about, now obviously this was speaking of Israel, but that's going to happen. This is going to happen over here because the scriptures speak of what? Famine, right? The scriptures speak of famine and pestilence. All right, let's get that real quick. Hold on, we're going to get that in a minute. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, because America is likened unto Egypt, right? That place spiritually called Sodom in Egypt, as the scriptures say, right? So this is 2nd Ezra 15 and 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh power shall bring upon it. Right? Egypt shall mourn, and the people are already mourning and languishing. Is why you see it's this Elamite woman got a news outlet, social media news outlet. I believe it's Hindustan Times or something like that. All you got to do is look up lefties losing it, right? And she got endless clips of the so-called left, liberal, right? The woke side losing their shit over various things. The inauguration of President Trump, the price of gas and food and all of this shit. Right? Which is what? Hey, it's attacking the foundation. Cause when cause when this motherfucker made it back in office, there was clips of these pink haired and blue haired weirdos talking about, well, I guess it's over. Talking about, well, I guess it's over. And then you had the woke Evites with that fucking bull ring septum piercing and colored hair talking about the so-called black woman like that with that bull ring nose piercing and different color hair talking about some, I guess we're going back into slavery. Right? But again, so through this guy, Trump, right? His second term marked the end of all that foolishness that the Biden regime just let play out, man. Meaning what? Order is about to be reestablished. We're not going to say order. Let's say boundaries. All right. Some boundaries about to be reestablished over here. But only for the sake of controlling the populace. Okay. That's the only reason why those boundaries are about to be reestablished, for the sake of control. Okay. Because guess what? This whole MAGA spirit is still out there, man. Make America Great Again spirit is still out there. And these devils, they want their kingdom back. They want you Negroes in low place. They want you Latinos, so-called, listen, they want you so-called Negroes and Latinos in low places. Right? If you make more than the average white person, so-called white person, they don't want that shit. They want your ass back on below the poverty line or barely making it. And everybody barely making it, but just saying. They trying to reshuffle that income around, those dollars. So it's going to be real interesting to see what happens if this guy Trump kill the income tax, man. We're going to see. Anyway, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh power shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, right? The sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Hey, and that's, again, it says destruction draweth near. The sword and their destruction draweth near. Okay? And how is that happening? Because this President Duck is cutting off allies, man. He's isolating America. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? When people start going down to 1 meal a day, okay, that's going to stress some people out because they're not used to intermittent fasting, right? When people start going to 1 meal every 2 days, 1 meal every 3 days, hey, that's when shit finna get real. All right. For the sword in their destructive draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. You see that? Meaning, men are going to take matters into their own hands. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, right? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's what I'm saying. That is coming soon. Right? So when we come back over here to Isaiah 32 and 12, right? 11, Tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled ye careless ones. Strip you, make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Right? Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars. Yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city. Right? And America was once called the joyous city, the golden city, man. Right? The land of the free, the home of the brave. America had a great reputation. But now, that shit is going down the tube. Right? Let me read that in the NLT. It says, Isaiah 32:11 in the NLT, it says, tremble ye women of ease, throw off your complacency, strip off your pretty clothes and put on burlap to show your grief. Beat your breasts in sorrow for your bountiful farms and your fruitful grapevines. For your land will be overgrown with thorns and briars. Your joyful homes and happy towns will be gone. Do you see that? So I'm of the opinion, and through the spirit, the cutting off of all of these all of this DEI is really to just relegate a targeted class back into particular roles in society. Okay. Hey, and some of those roles, some of those the women that may not have those may not be able to find the shelter of a man, or shack up with somebody like they're so accustomed to latching on, because the men are becoming cold too, man. Right? They may have to go and do these jobs that all of the migrants are no longer doing, because the migrants are no longer here. Right? Thing about it is, Jake is doing better. Jake as a whole is doing better than a lot of Edomites, because Jake was already low on the pole. We didn't have much to begin with. So we know how to get by on little to nothing. And then you had Jake, because of that, develop hustler mentality, learn how to move money around. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to pick up a skill, learn how to hustle, pick up a skill trade, do some side work, right? Whereas these Edomites, hey, they weren't moving like that, man. They was enjoying their white privilege. But that shit is gone. It's gone. All right? And even some of you so-called white people that used to be middle class, yeah, Trump wants your asses back in them lower paying jobs too, because you're useless eaters. All right? He look at a large group of the populace as little worth, man. And it's just going to widen the gap between the haves and the have-nots. And that's the point. The point is to widen the gap between the haves and the have-nots. Because why? Those that have, right? Those that got the bag and doing well, they're gonna take the charagma, because they want to keep what they got. And those that don't have shit, those that don't have nothing, they are gonna take the charagma because they want a better life. They want a better life. All right. I did a video. I believe I did a video on that, showing how they wrote rolled out the CBDC, the central bank digital currency over there in particular parts of Thailand. And that a lot of Jake was starting to go to Thailand to make money and just go over there vacation, see the world and shit, get a different viewpoint, find a woman, right? But hey, now, they did 2 pilot programs over there to see how it's going to work, and they purposefully did it in a very poverty stricken area. So what's the plans over here for the elites, man? The brothers going to it all the time. They liquidating America, man. Why? To increase the poverty level on purpose. Because when the people are in need, you can bend them to your will. When the people are stressed, man, you can persuade them for a desired result. But you are gonna have your upwards. You're gonna have your break. We just read it. It said, let's go back. It said, verse 16, it said, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes." Right? Meaning that they're not gonna worry. They're not gonna give a shit what the law states at that point. It's gonna be a wrap. And every man gonna do what's right in it, what he feel is right in his own sight, man. Anyway, that's just my little commentary, my little 2 cents on the matter of this whole signing away of the Segregation Act, what path that's setting the country on, and through the Spirit, I believe it to be a means to segue us into a greater financial gap, financial disparities between the classes. All right, the economic classes, as well as to correct. All right, and I use that word loosely, to correct the social climate as far as the gender roles in the country. Anyway, food for thought. I pray this lesson was edifying. I pray that it finds you well. And until next time, Shalom. Wa Ababa.